Well, now we take you to the dusty outskirts of Beijing, where a handy farmer has found fame, not for his crop growing skills, but for his uncanny ability to turn garbage into walking, talking robots. Tom McKenzie reports.
Meet Wu Yu Lu, farmer, father and celebrity robot maker. He's invented dozens of robots in the last few decades, pieced together from rusty farm equipment and junkyard scrap. His family of bots includes a mechanical mouse, a walking chair and even a robotic rickshaw. Wu's achievements haven't gone unnoticed in China. He's been in the newspapers, he has his own Wikipedia page and he was even flown to South Korea for a TV show.
Well, for anyone who doubts that there's creativity in today's China, here's your answer. This is a rickshaw with a difference. Robocrop, eat your heart out.
The problem, says Wu, is that there isn't much help in China for people who do think outside of the box. He'd hoped all the publicity would have seen his robot-making antics turned into a burgeoning bot business. Instead, he's had to stick to farming and the robots have remained a hobby.
The government should really improve support for us inventors. I was once interviewed by a South Korean TV program. They told me that there, people like me get support from government, but I didn't get any help.
China's inventors are also faced with the very real possibility that someone else will simply steal their ideas.
Many toy manufacturers said they were interested in investing. They wanted me to exchange intellectual property for shares, but I was scared of being cheated, so I didn't cooperate with them. And I was cheated once by a company that claimed they were Italian investors.
The problem, says Wu, is with education. He thinks Chinese students spend too much time studying and not enough time doing.
Chinese are good at imitating, but they lack creativity. Students have so much knowledge from books, but they don't have hands-on skills or creativity.
It hasn't always been like that. China's been credited with inventing the compass, gunpowder and even the umbrella. And if Wu does ever get the help he craves, he could be the man to take robot making in China to a whole new level.
In the future, I want to make more humanized, high-tech robots. You can tell a robot to do anything, like getting a cup of tea for you. But it's going to take a very long time and it's going to be very difficult.
Tom McKenzie, BON.
Tom McKenzie joins us now in studio with more on his story about science fiction in the Chinese countryside. What inspires Mr. Wu? And when did he start these projects?
Well, he started this when he was a school kid, actually. He didn't have much education, left school early, about 16, from a family of 5, peasant family, and just started, picking things up and putting things together, and said that as long as he can remember, he's always had a love of making things. Yeah. And it was back in the 1980s he'd made his first robot that could move. And he's been building them since then. They've just progressed and progressed to what you saw there in the video of this enormous kind of man-sized rickshaw-carrying robot. It's quite amazing stuff, yeah.
That's amazing. Like, has he sold any of these robots that he made?
He has sold a few of them, yeah. There's been a lot of focus on him. He's appeared on these newspapers and TV shows. He's been flown out to different countries to talk about it. He's even given talks at universities here and in other cities around China to talk to students about how he does this. And on the back of that, people have picked up on this and have decided they want to buy a few of his creations. But it's only been a 1 or 2 here and there to a couple of wealthy businessmen, he was telling me, and also to the Chinese Academy of Sciences, actually, one of their institutes bought one. But he's really slightly disappointed that there hasn't been more interest, and no one's come forward and said, look, here's a bit of seed money, start up your own company. That's what he's looking to do, and he's looking to really take his robots to kind of the next level.
What's been the reaction from his neighbors, in the countryside, and what kind of support is he getting from his family?
Yeah, well, he's quite a hit with his neighbours, I think. They kind of walk past, have a quick look in, find out what the next robot he's working in is as they kind of carry on to their fields to work. His family have been pretty supportive by all accounts. I think his wife was tearing his hair out a few years ago. He burnt that family house down.
Wow.
In an accident. And yeah, exactly. Actually, the villagers and family members chipped in, gave him some money to rebuild his house. And his
Oh,
wife
that's
has
great.
since forgiven him. He's made a robot that makes her tea and cools her down in the summer with a fan. So she's now supporting him. But yeah, it took a bit of time.
Keep the wife happy.
Hope
Very
that's make it
important.
up too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tom, thanks very much for coming
Pleasure.
in. BON News continues in just a moment.